Actually, today I was talking with Dr. Witt in the little break, and we were talking about today's lesson and how I feel of it, like compared to the rest of the lessons during the whole year. And I actually honestly felt that today was the best lesson. We've been learning about everything that went on, how the Holocaust got started all the way back from history before the Holocaust, and I feel that today just brought it all together. It just really touched me that I could relate to something and use it in my real life.
What have we learned? We have learned some lessons, minor lessons perhaps, that we are all responsible, and indifference is a sin and a punishment. And we have learned that when people suffer, we cannot remain indifferent. And Mr. President, I cannot not tell you something. I have been in the former Yugoslavia. I cannot sleep since what I have seen. As a Jew, I am saying that. We must do something to stop the bloodshed in that country.
I want you to understand what a remarkable moment that was. We've studied World War I, correct? Mm-hmm. You remember about Serbia and all the nationalistic uprisings that were occurring there? They were still going on in the 90s, and there were wars that broke out, and there were all kinds of atrocities, ethnic cleansing that was going on. And so Elie Wiesel took it upon himself to go visit these camps. And in this shot here, what does he say to the president? What does he say to him? Kevin?
Something needs to be done.
What are you going to do about it? Here's a guy who's a private citizen, and he turns to the President of the United States and he says to him, what are you going to do about it? So what do you think as a result of that? What was he saying to him? What do you think he was saying to the President of the United States? Yeah, Amy.
Well, not to let history repeat itself.
Not to let history repeat itself.
Dr. Witt is an amazing teacher. I think that she really does find the connection with every one of her students. I felt like today she gave a really good explanation as to how individually we can make an effect. Elie Wiesel was one person who wanted to make a big difference in what was going on in the world today. I just thought that was very interesting to, see almost like the little guy stand up to the president and say, this is what we could do. I went through this. This shouldn't be happening, and kind of just explaining the situation to everyone, and I thought that was very interesting.
I think one of the most important things I've learned as a teacher is closure on any lesson. That's one of the techniques that I think often gets overlooked. For our students who are looking at history, we have to remember 60 years is a lifetime, and so trying to bridge that gap between the past and the present and making them aware that the lessons are here and now, and that they still apply, I think is incredibly important. And that's why I worked really hard to bring a meaningful lesson as the last lesson in the Holocaust unit that I teach. There are 6,000 descendants of the Schindler Jews. Think about that for a minute. There are approximately 3,000 or so Jews left in Poland of what was a huge population of over 3 million. I want you to think about what kind of doctors could we have had? What kind of writers? What music would have been written? What literature could have been written? Okay? What are we missing as a result of the generation that's wiped out?